Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome to part two. A few days ago, we posted a video about the effects of social media on our anxiety and depression, and how it, can overall how it can affect us. Well, today I wanted to talk about focus. I had mentioned some tips and things to eliminate how social media affects you. So, yeah, today we're going to talk about focus. So I guess my first question to you is, what are you focused on? Like what do you focus on a day-to-day basis? Like where's your mind at in the morning? Like try to be aware of these things because, it's kind of like the key or doorway to figuring out why you feel the way you do or why you do the things that you do, behaviors and everything like that. Because the way I see it is like, today you could be having the greatest life that you've ever lived. You know what I mean? I know that sounds crazy, but today could be the best life that you have the ability to live. I guess that's a better way of putting it. And like I said, it all boils down to your focus. And if you're focusing on certain aspects, let's call them rituals. Like, what do you ritualize every day? Like, every day when you wake up in the morning, like, what's the first thing that you think of? I mean, do you give yourself a laundry list of things that you need to get accomplished that day? I mean, I think that's pretty common. I mean, a lot of people, do that. They structure their lives in that manner. But are you giving yourself time to do what you want to do? I understand that there's, conflicting schedules. I mean, if you have kids and, you're working a job, maybe two jobs, that, sometimes though that, time isn't enough. There's not enough hours in a day. I mean, you constantly hear everyone always complaining and bitching about not having enough hours in a day. Well, see, what I think is when you're creating your rituals, why don't you include yourself in there? You know what I mean? You got to include like time for whatever it is that you value in life. And, going back to the social media thing, I mean, what are you really valuing? I mean, when you're viewing all these things on here and then, you get this overwhelming want or need to fulfill something that you see someone else doing, I mean, that's going to cloud what your values really are or what you would like to be doing in that particular day, time frame, or whatnot. So I got a couple of questions here that I had wrote down that I would like to read off to you, and get a pen and paper, and go along with this with me. You know what I mean? Like go step by step, and let's see if we can figure out some of the things that either you value or something that you would like to be doing or things that you can be happy about in your life. And first question, question one, what in your life today could you feel proud about? And I think that I think you should be able to at least write 5 things down. I've done this myself. Like, what can you be proud of? I mean, have you graduated college? I mean, do you have a good job? Have you held down a good job? Are you in high regard in that job? I mean, do your kids look up to you? Does your husband or wife come to you when there's a problem? You know what I mean? Are you the fixer? I mean, that's something to be proud of. I mean, at times, all these external factors, disrupt your mindset and where you're going. So at times you have a hard time finding something to be proud of. And then once you have those 5 things written down, I want you to put down what about those particular things make you feel proud? Like what about it makes you feel proud? What part of it makes you feel good? Is it, the feedback that you're receiving, like, how people describe you as a person? And take a little time to do that. Next, what today could you be grateful for? Write down the things that you could be grateful for. I mean, I've done this in a few of the posts I put on Facebook under my Power of Self thing, is I believe being aware of the things that you're grateful for, what you should be grateful for, is really, really key in, in feeling better about yourself and feeling better about life in general. Another question here is like, how does these things that you wrote down that you're grateful for, like how do they make you feel as well? In what aspect do they make you feel great, or what aspect are you grateful for them? And lastly, the last question is, what could you feel excited about if you wanted to? Like a lot of times you're like, oh, life is so boring. Life is, nothing new ever happens to me. You, I mean, you've done it. I've done that. Isn't that true that there's typical, times in your life, like depending on what season you're in, you know, you don't know if you can be excited about something. I mean, a lot of times people take vacations in the summertime or, sometimes in the wintertime. I mean, I guess maybe if you're retired or something. But, what else could you feel excited about? Like, I mean, it doesn't have to be any one thing, and I don't think there's a wrong answer to this, but what could you be excited about? I mean, besides the typical, like, oh, well, Christmas is coming. I mean, sure, you can put that down. I mean, a lot of people love it, but what other things in your life could you be excited about if you wanted to be? You know what I mean? Just because it's not perfect doesn't mean you can't be excited about it or be excited about going for something that you feel passionate about. I think passion's a lost thing. A lot of people, because of external factors, whether it's job, children, significant others, social pressure, all those things. Like, I mean, you lose your passion for things quite quickly, but yet again, if it's a value for you, I mean, you're going to do it regardless. Um, so yeah, go through it and, ask yourself these questions, because if you think about it, the questions like, what in life today could you feel proud about? What could you feel excited about? What could you feel grateful for? They're very empowering questions, and they're, are setups to make you feel better about your life. Because if you ask yourself lousy questions, you're probably going to get lousy answers. You know what I mean? Like, take for instance, you take any situation, and I'm going to use weight because I feel like, everybody, not everybody, but a good portion of people struggle with their weight. And first, I'm going to ask it in a negative light that isn't going to empower you. If you were to say to yourself, why can I not lose the weight? Like, if that was your question to yourself, like, why can I not lose the weight? Your brain's going to come up with answers. Like I said, I've talked about before, your brain's a supercomputer. I mean, whatever you ask, it's going to give you some sort of an answer. Whether it's relevant or rational is besides the point. It's going to give you an answer. So, question being, why can I not lose the weight? You're going to say to yourself, well, it's because I'm fat, because I'm lazy, because I don't want to do it. It feels too painful to diet. Things of that nature. See, if you were to ask yourself in a different way, like, how could I lose 5 pounds? Or how could I lose the weight? I mean, you see the difference between the two? The one, you're playing victim, where you're like, why can I not lose the weight? The second one is, how can I? So you're asking your brain a totally different question, and it's going to compute it in a totally different manner. Like, how can I lose the weight? Well, maybe you can skip second portions, make better choices, don't eat an entire pumpkin pie before bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you get around these things. You know what I mean? It's like you got to ask the right questions. You know what I mean? And I mean, you can develop a plan of attack for wherever your focus is, but there's a possibility that you're in the wrong season. And what I mean by this is, you could do all the right things, but it just might be the wrong time. And you have to be conscious of those things, and that's why strategic planning is so important. Being strategic, planning, giving yourself, smart goals, measurable goals, like that's so key. So what exactly are the things that you're having such an issue with, and what are the questions that you're going to ask yourself in order to remedy it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you take a situation like, find 4 or 5 things that you would like to improve in your life, and try to think back to the disempowering thoughts that you do have in accordance to those. Like, what are the disempowering thoughts and questions that you're asking yourself? and try to do yeah, thought replacement, I think, would probably be the best thing. Like, I mean, how could you ask yourself in a different way that makes it more proactive and makes it so your brain's working for you as opposed to working against you and, you know, disempowering you. I think that's a much healthier way of going about it. And like I said, I mean, you know, we're not shooting for perfection here, you know what I mean? It's like celebrate every small victory. You know what I mean? I think that's a lost art in our culture. What's, you know, because you know people fall in love with the end result. They don't, you know, nobody loves the process. I mean, obviously, deciding that you need to lose 100 pounds, I mean, it almost seems unobtainable, which, you know, I mean, can disempower you. And it's very, very scary. So I mean, if you were to do it in 5-pound increments or make small adjustments every day, I mean, then you could attain that goal. And, you know, going back to the social media thing, you know, seeing other people that have already had the end result, like, you get this like overwhelming pressure that you want it now, you want it today. You know what I mean? Patience is a virtue. Patience isn't my strong suit, but you know what, it was something that I needed to work on, and it was something that I worked on in small increments, because, you know, I mean, everybody wants it right now, and anything worth working for doesn't come overnight. I mean it's like a lightning strike. If you know, if you can acquire something so unobtainable in your mind overnight, I mean, it's a 1 in a million shot. So I don't know, I think those are things that you should think about. But, you know, lastly, what I want to end on is, you know, talking a little bit more about this whole focus thing, because people have a hard time realizing where their focus really is. And, you know, you start when you're focused on something hard enough, that's what you're going to obtain. You know, you seek and you shall receive. You know what I mean? Like, if you're focused on it, that's what you're going to get. So we're going to do like an exercise that was, you know, pretty much it was made famous by a very, very, very successful strategic interventionist by the name of Tony Robbins. I'm sure you know the name, but it's an awesome exercise that's been used by a lot of different you know, life coaches, self-help coaches, stress coaches, and things like that. And this is to teach you, or to make you aware of where your focus is. So, you know, sit up straight in your chair and free yourself from distractions. You know what I mean? Pause the video if you have to, go to a separate room, whatever you need to do. But we're going to do a quick exercise here just to show you how easily questions that you ask your brain can throw your focus in a negative way or in a positive way. Okay? So you can go ahead and pause the tape. I'll wait about 10 seconds here. And like I said, make yourself comfortable, free of distraction, and then we'll go. Anybody else have the Jeopardy theme song in their head right now? Just me? Okay. Alright, anyways, okay, we're going to get started. Okay. Right now, I want you to start to look around the room and find everything that is the color brown. Right now. Start looking around. Don't tell me what it is. Don't say it out loud. Just start looking around the room. Around the room. What's brown? What's brown in that room right now? Everything that you can find, make a mental note of it. Everything that's brown in that room. Okay? I'm going to give you another 5 seconds. Try to take it all in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now, my question to you is, what in that room was blue? Oh, shocked, right? Because you know what? You were focused on the brown. You know what I mean? So, if you ask your brain, why is everybody so mean? Why are people terrible people? Why do they do this? Why are they bad drivers? Your brain's now focusing on now trying to find each and everything in each and every person that are doing bad things, doing disservice to you, not driving properly. Okay, the blue represents the positive, the things that you're not seeing, because that was not the question or not your focus. So if I were to ask you prior to, what was everything blue in that room, which would have been the positive people, somebody doing something nice, somebody driving properly, That's what you would have been looking for, and that's what you would have asked your brain. So be aware of what you're asking your brain and where your focus is. Because if you're focused on the negative, you're going to get the negative. If you ask lousy questions, you're going to get lousy answers. So flip the script, start asking empowering questions, and start, when you come in contact with somebody that doesn't drive properly or somebody that's mean to you, think to yourself, where are all the positive people? Where are the nice people? Instead of saying, why is everybody so mean? Be like, where are the people that are nice? The people that I want to surround myself with. Look for the blue color. And you'll be amazed at how many good things that you'll come across if you're looking for them. You know what I mean? The negative will always overrule the positive. I don't know why. It just always has, because it's more painful, and your brain will always do everything in its power to eliminate pain and to avoid pain. It will do 10 billion times more, or put in 10 billion more times more effort to make sure you don't feel pain than you ever will to feel pleasure. So look for the blue color. Try it. Try to look for the blue color. Report back. Leave something in the comments. Let me know how this worked for you. And again, I appreciate you guys watching my videos and whatnot. Like I said, I'm trying to help as many people as I can. Again, I'm gonna let you know my website, or it's not a website, but it's through Facebook. It's Power of Self. If you search that, you will find my page. Hit the like button, and you get more tips every day. So, you know what I mean? Feel free to message me. I get back to whoever I can. And like I said, feel empowered today. Like I said, Power of Self is very empowering, and it can be. The key is you. Everything that you need to feel better, everything you need to break the pattern of depression and anxiety is within you. And I know that might sound scary, but it should almost give you some sort of comfort. Like, all the tools that you need are already inside of you. I believe that you can do it. I did it. I had severe anxiety and depression, hypochondria for a lot of years. And I'm sitting here throwing out my business to millions of people all over the world. You know what I mean? And you could too. Like I said, trust in yourself. Trust that you're the key to your recovery. Trust that you're the key to being the best you can be ever. Be the best you can be ever. Alright, well, I'm going to end it there. Like I said, there'll be another video coming soon. Working on one about how to get over heartaches, broken relationships, and it's tailored more towards people that are kind of hung up on relationships or understanding why someone is hung up on them. So like I said, stay tuned for that. Leave comments, hit the like button if you wish, and you guys have an excellent day. Thanks.